Right now, Jim Gardner and the Action News team are standing by with these stories and more next at 6. Bonnie's saga is coming to a close. We are there as she admits what she did, and her lawyer tells us why he thinks her plight receives so much attention.
Also drowning at the Jersey Shore. That story, much more coming up. But now, for Monica Malpass, the entire Action News team, I'm Rick Williams. Have a nice evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Closed captioning brought to you by your local Chevy dealers and the 2008 Impala. The Impala has earned the highest possible rating for frontal crash safety. Visit Chevy.com.
Some say cockroaches would be the only ones to survive if the world came to an end. We beg to differ. One thing tougher than a cockroach is the Terminix promise of ultimate protection. Call today to schedule your free pest evaluation. Terminix, power over pests.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
He worked his way through college and Harvard Law, turned down big money offers, and helped lift neighborhoods stung by job loss, fought for workers' rights. He passed a law to move people from welfare to work, slashed the rolls by 80%, passed tax cuts for workers, health care for kids. As president, he'll end tax breaks for companies that export jobs, reward those that create jobs in America, and never forget the dignity that comes from work.
Need a new mattress? Shop Sleepy's, the mattress professionals, and save an extra 20% off other stores' advertised prices or get the mattress free. Only at Sleepy's.
Tamala Edwards, tomorrow morning starting at 5.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program with Gary Papa, Dave Roberts, and Jim Gardner.
Monday night, Philadelphia police have just released a sketch in yesterday's sexual assault, and lifeguards are warning about the dangers of rip currents that have proven deadly at the shore. But the big story on Action News tonight is the official plea today from 22-year-old Jocelyn Kirsch to a judge in Philadelphia. Said the former Drexel student, "I'm guilty." And with those words, Kirsch acknowledged teaming up with her former boyfriend, Penn graduate Edward Anderton, to steal more than $100,000 from friends and neighbors so the two could live the high life. But her arrest and subsequent court appearances gave her a very different look from the romantic image of Bonnie and Clyde. Action News reporter Vernon Odom is live outside the Federal Building in Philadelphia. Vernon, what was it like in there today?
A bit eerie in that sixth-floor courtroom today, Jim. Jocelyn Kirsch was supposed to graduate from Drexel University this spring, never spoke above a whisper during the entire one-hour hearing. She was dressed in dark green prison garb, a big fall from her previous lifestyle.
You're talking about somebody who's obviously mentally ill. You don't have to be a brain surgeon or a psychiatrist to see that.
Jocelyn Kirsch entered her guilty plea telling the judge she's been suffering from mental illness for a long time and is still on multiple medications. Her lawyer says her mental problems are the major factor that led this 22-year-old former Drexel student and her ex-boyfriend into sophisticated identity theft schemes. In the media, they've become known as Bonnie and Clyde. The boyfriend, Edward Anderton, has already entered a guilty plea. They stole IDs and credit cards from friends, neighbors, and even strangers out on the bar scene so they could live large. The government says they ripped off nearly $120,000 before getting caught. Police found evidence of their lavish trips to Europe and various vacation playgrounds. The government wants them to do at least 7 years behind bars.
Restitution is mandatory under the federal laws, so she will be required, as will her co-defendant, to pay back all of the money that was generated in this scheme to all of the victims.
Kirsch was already confined to the Federal Detention Center here in Philadelphia, a big change from her former posh dwelling at this high-end condo building not far away. Her parents left court today without comment. Her father is a prominent doctor in North Carolina. Kirsch's lawyer complains that the media has gone over the top on this story because Bonnie's vacation pictures went out on the internet.
She looks good in a bikini, and that you have pictures of her in a bikini to put all over the place. That's the only difference in this case than almost any other case that I have.
Jim, Jocelyn Kirsch will undergo a full psychiatric examination by the government before sentence is passed in mid-October. Live at the federal courthouse in Center City, Vernon Odom, Channel 6 Action News.
Thank you, Vernon. Our website at 6abc.com has a lot of additional resources on the Bonnie and Clyde case. You can see slideshows of the couple's exotic escapades, and you can watch videos of how the law finally caught up with them. We have breaking news tonight in the sexual assault of a woman in South Philadelphia. Police have just released the sketch of the suspect. He is in his 20s, 140 pounds, 5'9" to 6 feet tall, with a light complexion. Officials say he has muscular arms and braids in his hair. Police say he forced his way into a 23-year-old woman's home early yesterday and attacked her with a knife. Here is another look at the suspect. Detectives say he may frequent the areas around 18th to 19th Street and Carpenter to Christian. If you have seen him or know anything about him, you are urged to call police right away. There are more questions than answers tonight in the wake of this weekend's drowning incident off Wildwood, New Jersey. But this everybody knows. What started out as a fun jaunt into the ocean ended in tragedy. Action News reporter John Rollins was back at the shore today.
A vacation video of three friends at a family outing as they jump into the churning Wildwood surf Saturday evening. Moments later, disaster strikes, a powerful rip current. Only one makes it safely to shore. 28-year-old Juan Moore is dragged away from his loved ones, as his father explains.
He started yelling, help, help, and nobody could help my son. And by the time they got, they couldn't find his body.
John Moore says his son Juan, who worked at the convention center here in Philadelphia for years, was a family man who doted on his young son. Without a body, the elder Moore hopes his son is still alive. Moore's son-in-law, Ishmael Joey Lopez, did perish Saturday despite efforts to revive him. Here at the home of Lopez's brother, family and friends grieved. The sole survivor of Saturday's incident declined to talk to reporters, but told Moore the force of the undertow was staggering as he tried to save Lopez.
He was trying to reach for my son-in-law like that, and I guess his arm slipped off him. Because he was like caught in something pulling him down.
Moore and his eldest son traveled to Wildwood today to talk to officials. Moore wants to know why, in the face of the ocean conditions, the beach had not been closed or at least had warning flags posted. Wildwood does not use warning flags. Officials say they stress to the public not to swim when lifeguards are not on duty.
When lifeguards are not there, do not go in the water. The water is very dangerous, deceptively dangerous, very inviting. But it can be very dangerous.
Chief Sorelli says Saturday's incident occurred at about 7 p.m., a full 90 minutes after Wildwood's lifeguards went off duty. John Rollins, Channel 6 Action News.
Well, dangerous rip currents also grabbed hold of a man who later died in Atlantic City over the weekend. And that strong undertow continues tonight, making swimming a risky proposition at the Jersey Shore. Sky 6 now looking live at Atlantic City as higher than normal swells are rolling in, all prompted by a storm hundreds of miles away. Meteorologist Adam Joseph is joining us to let us know how long these warnings will last and a little more about rip currents. Adam?
Absolutely, Jim. And beaches like Cape May here seeing those larger and stronger than normal waves, all because of Tropical Storm Bertha. Right now, she is pretty much right on the edge of the island of Bermuda. Winds at 70 miles an hour, moving to the north at 9 miles an hour. And you can see that deep convection, the blossoming oranges on your radar, showing that Bertha is strengthening. And as long as she's out there, it's going to keep sending those large waves our way. So a rip current risk continues for the next few days, at least through midweek, a moderate to high risk. There'll be slow improvement by the end of the weekend, still expecting 2 to 4 foot waves. That down a little bit from yesterday and today's 4 to 5 foot waves. And again, some of the beaches use a flag warning system, such as Cape May and Longport. Green meaning safe. If you see a yellow flag, it's caution, if not beware. And then a red flag would mean extreme, if not hazardous, swimming conditions. And the peak danger time, now rip currents can occur at any time, but the peak time is when the high tide starts to go back out, and that is right now until 11 o'clock tonight, and then again late tomorrow morning into early the afternoon hours of tomorrow. But Jim, coming up in that full AccuWeather forecast, we'll talk about Bertha moving away, plus our heat will really start to crank up. I'll have that full details coming up in a little bit.
And as you probably know, you can always find the latest AccuWeather information on our website at 6abc.com. On the Watches and Warnings channel, you can see if a rip current advisory is in effect. A shooting late this afternoon in the Hunting Park section of Philadelphia has left a man near death. The unidentified male victim, believed to be in his 30s, was shot in the chest just after 4 o'clock at 5th and Bristol Streets. He was rushed to Temple University Hospital in extremely critical condition. Police have not made any arrests in the case.
Houses! When do we want it? Now!
Some apartment residents who were forced from their homes last month protested today across the street from Philadelphia City Hall. They lived in the Lindley Court Apartments in Logan and were evicted back on June 22nd when the building was condemned. L&I cited the property for unsafe and unsanitary conditions. Well, the landlord and the owner of the apartment building have been ordered to pay $80,000 to relocate the residents, but many say they just want to go back to their homes. Coming up on Action News tonight, a salute to a group of military men, thanking them for their service to the country decades ago.
Tonight's the Home Run Derby. I'm Jamie Apodi in New York City. Coming up, Chase Utley talks about his chances.
And Adam Joseph returns with that 5-day AccuWeather forecast. Don Pollock shows us the airplane for sale that just won't need jet fuel. That and much more when Action News continues tonight.
If you can solve clues like this, you might be seeing stars.
The daughter of a doctor and a suffragette. She's been called the First Lady of Cinema.
Find out next Jeopardy!
Jeopardy in HD, tonight at 7 on 6 ABC.
The Faulkner Freedom Celebration. Free yourself from high gas prices. Hundreds of vehicles getting over 30 miles to the gallon. Free yourself from high prices. 4,000 vehicles. Discounted. 10 franchises. The Freedom Celebration. Going on now at Faulkner.
Every woman should hear Jody's story. Jody was always healthy.
Her pap was always normal. Still, I recommended she also get the HPV test. Her pap looked fine. The HPV test showed
She had the virus that could cause cervical cancer.
most HPV infections don't cause problems, but another exam confirmed she had cervical disease.
But Jody's story has a happy ending.
We caught it before it became cancer. So if you're 30 or over, make sure you get the HPV test along with your pap.
The Digene HPV test from QIAGEN. Take the test, not the risk.
Make room for savings at Raymore and Flanagan. Save $50 on Sealy Posturepedic Pillow Top Queen mattress sets, starting at $6.99. Save $100 on our best-selling Sealy Posturepedic Firm or Plush Queen sets, only $5.99. With free next-day delivery, setup, and old mattress removal. Get into Raymore and Flanagan for the guaranteed lowest prices on Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattresses today.
Now more than ever, you want to get the most for your money. Look no further than the 2008 midsize Kia Optima. 31 mpg, 5-star safety rated, backed by an industry-leading warranty, and it's priced about $3,000 less than a Toyota Camry SE. Or to put it another way, 3 years worth of electric bills less. The Kia Model Year-End Event. It's money well saved. Now get 0% APR or up to $3,000 cash back on the Kia Optima. Offer ends July 31st.
This accident on Saturday night in Bryn Mawr has brought the president of Ohio State University to Philadelphia tonight. Gordon Gee's daughter, Dr. Rebecca Gee, was a passenger on the Vespa that collided with an SUV Saturday night along the 1000 block of County Line Road. She broke her leg, but her husband, Dr. Alan Moore, who was driving, remains in critical condition at the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. Rebecca Gee is an OB/GYN and a clinical scholar at Penn's Medical School. Moore is a noted endocrinologist at Mass General Hospital in Boston. Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell has a new side job tonight. He has been named chairman of the National Governors Association. Rendell replaces Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty. Today, Rendell said that his number one priority will be funding for infrastructure improvements across the country to ensure safe bridges, schools, airports, ports, and water systems. The National Governors Association is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. A Delaware County Fire Company received a generous grant to help purchase some new equipment today. This is the Bethel Township Hose Company #1 in Garnet Valley. Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Bob Casey and Representative Joe Sestak joined officials for the big announcement today. The fire company was awarded a $75,000 grant to get a new fire alarm system for the station, as well as new exhaust systems for its trucks. This was a very emotional day in Vineland, New Jersey. Almost 100 elderly South Jersey veterans received medals, certificates, and lots of thanks for their time in the armed services.
This ceremony says, in some small part, thank you from a grateful state to those who have answered the nation's call to service.
They held the ceremony at the new Vineland Veterans Memorial Home on Northwest Boulevard. The veterans who served decades ago in all branches of the military were very pleased, even overwhelmed, as some shed tears as they received honors today. Some had family members by their side. It was a day to remember in Vineland.
Hey, I'm back, and so is the Honda clearance, which means two great things can happen. One, it's your chance to get a new, totally redesigned Accord or the fuel-efficient Civic, and two, at a savings that could be very opportunistic. Get it? Look, I may be animated, but it all adds up to me. Oop, guess I forgot to walk Oscar. The 2008 Honda clearance. Lease a Honda Accord for $219 a month for well-qualified customers. I missed your opportunity, and I'm knocking. Yeah, Oscar!
Record gas prices, a climate in crisis. John McCain says solve it now with a balanced plan. Alternative energy, conservation, suspending the gas tax, and more production here at home. He's pushing his own party to face climate change. But Barack Obama, for conservation, but he just says no to lower gas taxes. No to nuclear, no to more production, no new solutions. Barack Obama, just the party line. The Republican National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I first saw this one when I was traveling through Prague. Geico probably thinks this is easy too. Dancing is good exercise. It works my glutes. Okay, America, I'll show you easy.
Have you seen the new Toyota Corolla? It's bigger, sleeker, is rated at 35 miles per gallon, and you can lease one for $179 a month. But just in case you like things a little different, Toyota presents the 32 mile per gallon rated Matrix. Right now, you can lease one for just $189 a month. Matrix and Corolla. Two more reasons Toyota is a smart way to keep moving forward.
Action News Sports is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers and the 2008 Chevy Malibu, the most refined Chevy Malibu ever. Visit Chevy.com.
The baseball world congregating at Yankee Stadium tonight.
A place to be, and we are there. The Stars are out tonight, Jim, and then again tomorrow. First up tonight, of course, the Home Run Derby. Chase Utley looking fastball tonight, looking to go yard at Yankee Stadium. At the All-Star game tonight, here's our Jamie Apodi.
We're here at Yankee Stadium. The All-Star festivities set to begin tonight with the Home Run Derby, which means all eyes will be on our very own Chase Utley.
You try to find a groove. I mean, you want to try to find a comfort zone and a groove. And if you find that, you never know what can happen. If you don't, it's going to be quick.
How's Chase going to do tonight in the Home Run Derby?
He's going to do good. He might not hit his mini balls as far as guys like Josh Hamilton, but Chase is such a good hitter that if he gets locked into that home run swing, he can continue to put balls over the fence and do it, continue to do it. So I think he's got a good shot.
How do you think a guy like Chase Utley will do tonight?
Oh, he's going to do really good. I got that feeling.
How good?
Real good. He might be in the final. That's how good he's going to do it.
David Ortiz does pick you to go to the finals.
Does he? Well, I'm going to have to say thanks to Big Papi.
Of course, the real pressure is on bullpen catcher Mick Billmeyer. He will be the one pitching to Chase Utley. We looked for him all day, but I think he's inside somewhere icing his arm. At Yankee Stadium, the All-Star game. I'm Jamie Pody, Channel 6, Action News.
The place to be. You got to love Big Papi, right? Gary Papi. Phillies at the break. Real fight in the East. Just a half game ahead of the hot red Mets. Last night, yesterday afternoon. Pat Burrell, 8th inning. Harry Callis, please.
Center field out
6-3 Phillies over Arizona. So Shane Victorino says, nice to be in first, although only a half game over the Mets.
We could have opened up the gap a little, but hey, we let everybody back in. But ultimately we're still in first place. We still, control our own destiny, and I think that's a positive in itself. And, to say the Phillies are in first place by the All-Star break, we haven't heard that in a while.
And so it ends for the All-Star guys. Pat Burrell should be there. Ryan Howard definitely. Got the standings at the break. The Phillies a half game ahead of those Mets. Boy, they're hot. Then you got Florida game and a half back, Atlanta and Washington. Remember last year the Phillies were in third place at the All-Star break. That's how they stack up this year, 2008. Updating Brett Favre, the situation in Green Bay, telling Fox News Channel today that he is guilty of retiring too early. Does not feel all that welcome in Green Bay, he says, and therefore wants to play someplace else. For who knows, this is far from over. Meanwhile, updating Donovan McNabb, last time we saw him was in June at that camp. Remember, he said, I got a sore arm. They shut him down because of the tired arm. Thinking then, Donovan, take it easy for a while. And today, on his website, Donovan says fans might be happy to know that I am in Arizona working out with Brian Dawkins. Next week, some of the other players will come out here. We'll work together for a few days before training camp starts. That's going to be the following week. I'm feeling great, he says. The shoulder is fine. Can't wait to get started this season. Yardbarker.com. That is Donovan's website. Nice to hear from Donovan. 11 o'clock tonight, we'll have Home Run Derby and Jamie Apodi.
Here we go.
That's the way it works.
Action News continues in just a moment.
Adam Joseph.
Get 0% APR for 72 months on these 2008 Chevy Silverados.
Enjoy your new Shield.
Thanks. How much did you spend on this?
Nothing. It was free, and they put it in just a day.
Well, if it was free and they put it in that fast, how good could it be?
You tell me.
She's got a Sloman Shield, the ultimate home security system. It's free, and yes, it's real good.
Okay, the system's great, honey. Please disarm it.
Johnny, you know I love the smell of fresh Genovese basil.
Basil mixed in with our lemon butter sauce makes our chicken brine delicious.
Goat cheese, sun-dried tomatoes. Great ingredients make great food.
Like figs. They add a natural sweetness to our chicken with port wine and fig sauce.
Figs, apples, port wine, reduced down to make a wonderful sauce.
Pair that with our chicken brine, you have Piatti di Polo. 2 great flavors on one dish. At Carrabba's, good things happen around our table.
There's never been a better time to drive a new Ford. It's your Quality Plus Ford dealer's model year clearance.
Now is the best time to save.
Buy a new Ford F-150 and you'll get employee pricing plus up to $6,000 cash back. That's right, you pay what they pay plus up to $6,000 cash back.
That's the best deal of the year.
Don't wait. Employee pricing on F-150 and up to $6,000 cash back won't last. Hurry to your Quality Plus Ford dealer's model year clearance.
Are you built Ford tough? Get to your Quality Plus Ford dealer now.
This AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by FECO. It's our job to provide energy, but we're also doing more to help you save money on your energy bill. Visit FECO.com for information.
The French Revolution lived in Center City, Philadelphia today with a Bastille Day celebration, and they let them eat crepes at the Sofitel Hotel at 17th and Sansom. Bastille Day is a national holiday in France, of course. It commemorates the storming of the Bastille on July 14th, 1789. The Bastille was a fortress and prison, and it all marked the beginning of the French Revolution. Let them eat crepes.
And they didn't bring us back any? The camera game?
Not one. Oh. What about that AccuWeather forecast?
We're set to sizzle, not tomorrow, but by the middle and the end of the week. Storm Tracker 6 live right now. We're drying things out. We're still hanging on to a little bit of cloud cover, especially east of the city, but the rain is out of here. Let's take a look right now. Sky 6 live at high definition. You can see some blue there west of the city. and the blue skies will dominate the rest of the week. Temperature right now at our high of the day, 82 degrees. Your humidity lower than this morning, 43%. Barometer 29, 89 and steady. Winds out of the west at 12 miles an hour, and your ocean temperature 65 degrees. Showers this morning, a lot of clouds throughout the day, now beginning to break up. 68 was the low this morning, normal is 70. Made it up to that 82 degrees, 4 degrees shy of the normal high, and the record 101 set in 1954. Temperature 83 right now in Reading, 80 degrees in Allentown, Wildwood 77 degrees, Dover 78, holding on to the cloud cover a little longer and the showers as well a little longer earlier this morning, so didn't recover as much down to the south and east. Satellite 6 at action radar, the cold front slowly pushing off the coast. There you can see the drawing now just on our doorstep, but clear skies as you walk all the way back through the Ohio Valley and also into the midsection of the country. Next 2 days, high pressure in control, sunny and warm, low humidity with a west-northwesterly wind. But as the high goes to the east, when you're ever on the western side of a high in the summer, you know it's going to turn hazy, hot, and humid with temperatures rebounding once again back into the 90s. We've seen quite a few of them so far this summer season. And if you're going to be down at the shore tomorrow, completely different than today. Bright sunshine, 76 to 80 degrees. There will be a sea breeze pretty quickly late morning in the afternoon. Also, those rip currents remain on the moderate to high side. So if you are going to venture into the water, again, as Cecily mentioned, probably just go up to your knees and always go into the water where the beaches are guarded. Tropical Storm Bertha is the reason for the rip currents. 70-mile-an-hour winds, a strong tropical storm moving to the north at 9. Right now, hammering the island of Bermuda with 70-mile-an-hour winds, trying to strengthen a little bit. So even though she's moving slowly, eventually will pick up steam, move away, and then it will reduce our risk for the rip currents. But the call from AccuWeather today, we had the shades of gray turning much brighter tomorrow, 60 to 66 tonight, comfortable under partly cloudy skies. And the exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast, it's sunny and nice on Tuesday, 88 degrees with low humidity, but then we touch 90 on Wednesday, dry but hot. Then humid and hot on Thursday, 94. Third day of 90 degrees or above on Friday makes it heat wave number 3, and hot, oppressive on Saturday, 92 degrees with the late day thunderstorm possible. And as we take a look beyond the 5-day forecast, we'll stay near 90, possibly Sunday even into Monday, with the possibility of a shower or a thunderstorm with a cold front. Let's just hope the front moves through and dries us out a little bit by that time.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
Finally tonight, everybody knows that moving can be an ordeal. And no one ever said moving was any easier in Don Pollock's world.
Everyone knows the mess and confusion and disorganization that moving can create.
It's been the worst experience in moving from one house to another, especially when you're going from large to small. You know, it's easier if you go from small to large, have room.
But if you don't, you have to start getting rid of some of your possessions, which in Mark Cohen's case includes his Lego set, which you would think wouldn't take up too much room until you see it. In all of its 20-foot wide motorized splendor, cruising the skies over the entrance foyer of his Voorhees home, where it's served as a unique decor touch for the past 18 years.
Actually, this piece came from Wanamaker's in Philadelphia. Originally, yeah. It was in their store window, and they offered it for sale. It took 2 men 9 months to build, according to what they told me. I bet you it probably weighs, I don't know, well over half a ton, I would imagine. Several motors and lights, moves up and down, does everything. I don't know what the market is for a Lego airplane, but I'm hoping maybe somebody would like to buy it.
A prospect that makes it the Delaware Valley's ultimate summer yard sale bargain, whose value lies in that it's almost a one-of-a-kind treasure.
There are only 2 in the world, as far as I know, like this. Here and in Minnesota, the Mall of America.
And the fact that, if nothing else, it would at least keep any children, nephews, cousins, or grandkids in Legos for generations to come without ever having to go to a toy store again.
About 140,000 pieces, I'm told. I think it's a lifetime supply. I think if you take it apart, you can probably live a lifetime using that.
So despite its size, it still should be relatively easy to move because it's Legos. It comes apart. See? Only 139,000 to go. I'm Don Pollock, Channel 6 Action News.
And to find out what else is going on in Don Pollock's world, just surf over to our website at 6abc.com. You will find a link to his channel under the Action News tab. World News with Charles Gibson next on Channel 6. Action News continues at 11. Health reporter Ali Gorman meets up with Senator Arlen Specter as Specter finishes his final day and final round of chemotherapy. He talks about his prognosis and how he hopes to inspire other cancer survivors. Now for Gary Papa, Adam Joseph, Dave Roberts, the entire Action News team, I'm Jim Gardner. We hope you'll join us on Action News at 11.